Hey everybody, so I'm back with another what I sold video, this time for what I sold in January 2021. And a lot of really interesting things happened this month, so I have quite a bit of things to talk about. So if you didn't know, I sell used clothing on both Depop and Poshmark. And this month I actually ended up selling 30 items, which I think is the most items I have ever sold in a month, which is really funny because I was just talking about my last one, how January is usually really slow and I was expecting to have like less sales in general, but here we are in January with like the most sales I've ever done, so that was like a nice little surprise. So out of those 30 items, 11 of them came from Depop and 19 came from Poshmark. So once again, Poshmark has kind of been my like bigger seller recently, and the reason I think I sold so much this month is honestly due to the pandemic and due to the quarantine. I think everyone is just so bored and they don't know what to do with themselves, so they're online shopping. Even like in a time like January when people usually don't shop, it's all we can really do right now. Like even I've been online shopping this month, so like I totally get it. In this video I'm gonna go through each item that I've sold and how much money I made off of it, and just keep in mind that a lot of my items I do receive for free, so unless like otherwise stated, we can just assume that the item didn't cost me anything, which definitely always increases my profit margins. Okay, so the very first item that I sold in January was actually a bundle on Poshmark. It was for this Licenza black lacy bra and these black framed purple tint sunglasses. So I ended up selling that bundle for $20, and the black sunglasses did end up coming from one of my friends, so I ended up splitting the profits with her. So I ended up making $11.61 off of that bundle. So next on Poshmark, I sold these G-Star raw denim super skinny jeans, and I'd never heard of that brand before, so I had no idea whether these were gonna sell or not, so I was really happy when I did sell them. I ended up selling them for $40, and I ended up making $30.96 after all of Poshmark's fees. But what's really interesting about this item in particular is that the person who bought it actually ended up opening up a dispute on Poshmark about them, and this is the first time that I'd ever like had a problem on Poshmark before. Basically what happened is the jeans didn't end up fitting her, unfortunately. Like the jeans were a size 26 and she said she was a 26 and they didn't fit her. And if you don't know, Poshmark actually deals with all of the disputes. They're the ones who settle it and determine like who is in the wrong and who is in the right. You're allowed to comment on the dispute, but at the end of the day it's not up to you. So basically what I said was like, hey, like I'm really sorry these don't fit. Like unfortunately they weren't my size, so I couldn't try them on to verify the fit. And luckily I had taken a picture of the tag that clearly said size 26. So I attached that photo and said like, I'm sorry, I was just going by what the jeans said. So honestly, I felt really bad for that customer, but in the end, it wasn't my decision, but Poshmark decided that I was kind of in the right, and so I ended up keeping the earnings. It was honestly kind of nice having them like handle everything, and I think they handled it pretty fairly. Like maybe I should start measuring all of my pants and like bottoms just to be like extra accurate, but that is kind of a lot of work, so definitely something I'm gonna keep in mind. I'm wondering if I didn't take that picture if I would have like won the dispute. So I'd really encourage you guys to make sure you're taking pictures of all the tags just to protect yourselves in case something like this happens. So then next on Poshmark, I sold this River Island black faux leather skirt. I ended up selling it for $15, and so I made $10.53, which was really cool. I kind of had a feeling that this skirt would sell just because it's that leather material that's really in right now, so I was glad to be able to sell that. Next on Depop, I sold this faux fur black and white jacket. I wasn't sure about this one because it is originally from Forever 21, and I know how people kind of feel about Forever 21, but it was an older style. It was in really good condition, so it ended up selling. I sold it for $30, free shipping, and after all of the fees and shipping costs, I ended up making $18.80, which was really awesome. So next on Depop, I sold this Victoria's Secret plaid red pajama pants, which I have had for a long time in my inventory, so I was happy to finally sell them. That was actually part of of a bundle with the faux fur jacket. I didn't realize that until now. But I ended up making $7.15 off of those. So next on Poshmark, I sold this Life Story Monologue band crew neck. And once again, I wasn't really sure if this one was going to sell because I feel like they are maybe more of like an underground band. Like I had never heard of them before, but I ended up selling it for $13 and I ended up making $5.08 off of it. So next on Depop, I sold this boho long brown skirt. And what's really funny about this item is that I actually got this from one of my mystery thrift hauls, and when I found it, I didn't even include it in the video because I was like, oh, like this isn't gonna sell, like I'm not even gonna bother with this. It's like an older style, like I really did not see any potential in it. So I threw it in a bag where I was gonna donate the rest of the clothes. And then I was kind of like scrolling on TikTok, you know, I'm kind of on like the thrifting and fashion side of TikTok right now. And I kept seeing these like long brown like boho skirts and I was like, wait a second. Light bulbs going off, like wait, I have one of these like sitting in a bag waiting to be donated. So I went back in, pulled it out, threw it up on Depop, and it actually sold really, really quickly. I ended up selling it for $25 plus $10 shipping, and I ended up making $16.91 off of it. TikTok's like a really good place to see trends and like what is popular at the moment. So if you don't have TikTok already, like definitely would recommend. So next on Poshmark, I sold this Roots black quarter zip sweater, and I feel like these Roots sweaters are pretty easy to sell. I've sold one in the past. I always get like quite a bit of likes on them on both Depop and Poshmark, so I feel like it's one of those things people are always kind of looking for. But I ended up selling it for $24 and I ended up making $15.19 off of it, which was great. So next on Poshmark, I had a bundle of 3 t-shirts. It was this All Time Low t-shirt, this Panic at the Disco tank top, and this Fall Out Boy t-shirt. So these were just kind of like some of my old band t-shirts that I have actually been trying to sell for a while, so I'm glad that they finally found a new home. I ended up selling that bundle for $20 and ended up making $15.48 off of it, which was pretty good. It meant I sold each t-shirt for about like $5, so that was really awesome. So next I sold these American Eagle tan jeggings and these American Eagle burgundy jeggings, and honestly I did not have any hope for these. I kind of just threw them up on my Poshmark just to see what would happen, but I knew like these are definitely an older style. Not really many people wear jeggings anymore or skinny jeans in general, so honestly I really didn't think they were gonna sell, but someone did end up purchasing both of them. So the first pair I ended up selling for $15 and I made $10.53 off of them, and then the second pair I sold for $13 and ended up making $8.53 off of those ones. So honestly those were really good profit margins considering these were pants that I really had no hope for. And it also just goes to show that like that's why you kind of need to sell on both Poshmark and Depop, because I feel like Poshmark's not as trendy and people are okay with like buying those kind of older styles. So next on Poshmark, I sold this huge bundle of 6 items, which was amazing. I think it's the biggest bundle I have ever sold before. Definitely helped me reach that like 30 item mark this month. So in that bundle was this Exalt graphic band t-shirt, this Nails band t-shirt, this Cold Shoulder band t-shirt, the transparent light pink framed sunglasses, the big yellow sunglasses, and this Aritzia Wilfred free red bra top. So a lot of really cool stuff in there. I ended up sending that person an offer for $60. I gave them a really big discount because they were doing such a big bundle, so I ended up making $46.44 off of the bundle, which was really amazing. And that actually averages out to about $7.74 per item, so that was really good. So next on Depop, another bundle. This person ended up purchasing this Daisy tank top and this 21 Pilots wall decal that I actually made a long time ago when I was really into 21 Pilots, and I decided to see if I could sell it on my Depop, and I ended up selling it. It did take a while to sell, but it sold. So I ended up selling both of those for $16 with free shipping because I'm currently doing free shipping on all bundles on my Depop right now. And after all the fees and everything, I only ended up making $2.29. So not a huge profit, but still a profit. Then next on Depop, I sold these Brandy Melville black jogger pants. I kind of knew these were gonna sell because, you know, how Brandy Melville is on Depop. Everyone's kind of obsessed. So I ended up selling those for $20 plus $10 shipping. This person actually asked me for a discount, so that's what I sold them for. And I ended up making $9.48 off of them, which was really good. So next on Depop, I sold this little Arizona patch. I sold it for $5 plus free shipping, and I ended up splitting the profits with a friend, so I only ended up making $2.03, which isn't a lot of money, but considering it was just like this little patch, that's pretty good. Next on Depop, I sold this vintage Guess mini skirt. I was really happy when I found this in my mystery thrift haul because I thought it was like super on trend, super Y2K, and I kind of knew it was gonna sell. And this one actually was shipping out to Los Angeles. I haven't really been doing as many international orders recently because I'm kind of scared that the packages are gonna get lost, you know, with everything going on right now. But I ended up shipping this one tracked, and it only cost me $16. Like, someone explained to me how if I'm shipping to Vancouver, like to British Columbia, it costs me like $19, but I can ship to LA for $16. That just doesn't make sense to me. But as a Canadian, I think you can make pretty good sales in the US because shipping isn't actually that much. And since our Canadian dollar is so low, if you're an American, get on the Canadian side of Depop. You can find some really good deals. Anyways, I sold that for $22 plus $20 shipping, and I ended up making $19.21 off of it, which was amazing. So next on Depop, I sold this I Love New York gray hoodie. I sold it for $15 plus $10 shipping, and I ended up making $8.67. Next on Depop, I sold this Glamour Kills pink sweater, and the person I sold it to was super excited. They were like, oh my god, like, do you still have this? Is this still available? And I was like, yes, and they were like super excited. So I'm assuming they were like a fan of Glamour Kills back in the day and like still like it, so I was really happy to sell that to them, especially because that was the first ever piece of Glamour Kills like merch that I ever got. I was really happy to be able to pass that along. But I ended up selling it for $20 plus $10 shipping, and I ended up making $10.06 from that. And next on Depop, I sold this black contrast stitch patchwork top. So this is actually a t-shirt that I reworked into one of those like really trendy patchwork tops that you're seeing right now. It was getting quite a few likes on Depop, so I kind of knew it would sell eventually. So I ended up selling it for $20 plus $10 shipping, and I made $10.34 off of it. Then next on Poshmark, I sold this burgundy corduroy button down. I was kind of sad to sell this because it's something that I bought for myself and I've worn like a few times and I really liked it, but I feel like I have a lot of those kind of like button down shirts, like plaid shirts, and I didn't really need it. I kind of already got my use out of it, so I decided to throw it up for sale, and it sold for $40, so I ended up making $30.96. But I did originally purchase this from the thrift store, and it did cost me $11.85 when I bought it, so I only actually made $19.11, which was still really good. And then finally, the last thing that I sold for the month was on Poshmark, and it was this Ralph Lauren bikini top. So I sold it for $20, and I ended up making $15.48, which was great for just like a little cute bikini top. So that was everything. I'm now gonna calculate how much money I made this month. Okay, so the total I made this month was $286.14. So not the most money I have ever made in a month. Honestly, I thought it was gonna be a little bit higher just because I sold so many items, but it just goes to show that I was definitely selling my items for a little cheaper compared to past months, because my average I made per item was $9.53. Yeah, so that's definitely a little bit lower from last month, but it's still okay. It's still around like the $10 mark, which I think is pretty good. And honestly, it's probably because I was giving pretty good discounts on those bundles, meaning that each item individually did cost less. But I'm not complaining. $286 is still a lot of money, and I'm really happy with that. But something interesting happened this month, and I don't know if Depop sends this to everybody or if it's just because I made more sales this month or something. I don't know, but I got this email saying, turn your Depop into a business. Keep selling and you could qualify for Depop's top seller program. So if you don't know, on Depop, if you're like a top seller, you get this like little blue check mark, kind of like if you're verified on Twitter or something like that. And it says like, want to be a top seller seller? Find out more. I thought it'd be really interesting if we just quickly looked at the qualifications to become a top seller. So it says for 4 straight months, you need to sell 50 plus items at an average price of $20 US or earn a total of $2,600 in sales before fees. So that is not happening anytime soon, I don't think, because that would mean I would have to make $650 a month for 4 months on Depop alone. And then it says how to keep your top seller status. So I guess if you already get it, they can take it away from you. So you need to sell across 4 months, you need to sell 200 plus items at an average price of $20 US or earn a total of $10,400 in sales before fees across 4 months. That means you have to make $2,600 a month. That seems kind of insane. I guess the other option would be to sell 200 plus items at an average price of $20 US. So that is only $1,000 per month then, which is still like a lot of money. But yeah, clearly Depop has some pretty high standards, and I'm not going to try to achieve this anytime soon. But I thought that was interesting, and I would just share it with everyone just to see what it takes to be a top seller. I also got an email saying my shop stats, so like my world ranking, which I thought was really funny, but my Depop world ranking is 13,905. So I thought that was really funny. Just kind of puts things in perspective of how many sellers there are on Depop. But anyways, that's pretty much all I have to say about this month. As always, I always hope this can help people with pricing their items and like sourcing their items to see like what kind of stuff is selling right now. Also, let me know if you guys want to see a video where I kind of show you how I keep track of all my sales and everything, like all my accounting and all that. Let me know if that would be helpful to you, because I know it is kind of hard to keep track of all these things since there's like so many fees and little things like that. So yeah, let me know. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.